Well, it's nice to be remembered as Mr. Guernsey. I entered Mr. Guernsey once. Well, there were short of entries that year, to be fair. I beat a couple of lads who probably shouldn't have entered because I think they're only about 15. And I beat a toy dustbin that was being entered as a PR stunt by one of the States departments. So I got a top 3 placing in the picture in the paper. Which reminds me, it was quite funny, the things we've heard tonight. I mean, we've heard all these jokes about waste and toilets and poo. Oh, I don't want to make jokes like that. I don't want to be thought of as a shit politician. And I was a bit amused by the Guernsey press, for some of us are, and here we are, lots of tourists queuing to get away from Guernsey. We should have had a bit of entertainment down there, along with the free smoky cheeses and the little tarts and whatever. I could have gone down and done a bit of spotted tap dancing or something like that. Better than turning up to a sculpture exhibition grand opening with a champagne, and I got it a week late. I was amused by the story of, was it Betty? The lady who said you should get up earlier in the morning and if you can't do that, avoid going to work or going to the place you're supposed to go. I didn't think it was that funny, that joke, to be honest. No, seriously, I mean, why it wasn't funny was because that lady's just become a deputy and she used to work in the State's Traffic Department. No, you have a few laughs as deputy. I mean, what was it? One of the earlier acts, he said, I could have been chief minister for the mentally challenged, or mental behaviour was my specialism. And I thought, it's interesting that, because not only have we really got the disability election this week, and that's, so I've got to avoid politically incorrect jokes like some of what we've heard, but I thought, mentally challenged, I mean, is that a ministry of fun or a ministry of silly walks? Or Monty Python joke, a bit too retro. But no, it's like, well, yeah, I would be a mentally challenged chief minister. I mean, my policies would be quite simple. It would be that the buses would run late enough in the evening so you wouldn't have to pay huge taxi fares. And you wouldn't close toilets in all the places where people go, including even the old people on a Sunday afternoon. No, that would be mental if you actually talk about that. It can be mental in politics, but then of course, life is always sometimes a bit difficult, a bit strange, and I was thinking, like, people might think I'm a bit of a mummy's boy. Mummy says to me, get up John, eat your carrots, eat your potatoes, eat your broccoli, eat your greens, eat your grass. No, she didn't actually say that. It's about getting ready and kind of, not being little Johnny who doesn't feel very well, doesn't want to go to work. Well, that applies to all deputies at times, but never mind. No, but the hardest part comes when you're, what's the word, going out and about, perhaps dating, internet dating, all that. I mean, I know that can be freaky and all that, but I went to a speed dating once, but all the women had sped off by the time I got there. I just got to talk to an old guy who had sort of medallions and a big chest and could have done a turn for Tom Jones on the Eurovision Tom contest. In fact, I went to. I don't want to talk too much about the Eurovision Song Contest because that puts some women off. They think I'm gay, and they all like it. But no, what happened was, it's like I went out dating, and I thought it was going to be a bad night somehow because she said, she sat down, she said, I have to go in an hour because I'm washing my hair. And then I said, well, I want a big menu, and I'm going for the burger challenge, the big surprise, the meat platter, and the roast duck. What would you like? And she said, I'm a vegetarian. And I said, well, you can have some of my greens afterwards and we can share. And so, you know, that didn't quite work. I would have offered her part of my meat, but I don't think she was into that. And she kept on sort of staring at the ceiling and looking about her and wondering what's really happening here. And I was trying to get the conversation going, you know, and I thought she'd be interested in my topics. Train timetables as well. Albion buses, the ones running along the seafront. Great political speeches I've heard in the States. Well, that was a short topic, that didn't last too long. Personalities who'd served as Social Security Secretary in the Wilson, Callaghan and Thatcher eras. They weren't quite doing it, not really. Number ones in the 1950s, no, they didn't quite work either. And so I thought, how am I going to make progress here? And I thought, it's time to open up my pockets and get out my little Pinky Winky. No, it's not that sort of show. I don't mean it like that. I thought that if I couldn't do the talking, I'd get my little friend to do it for me. So out little Pinky came, Pinky the panda. And I thought I'd be like one of these people you hear about, you read about, where the panda does the talking. In fact, a panda bear is quite a good metaphor, really, because you think about pandas, what do?
That's shag.
Well, that's the problem. You put them in a cage, you put them in a zoo, you put them in a wonderful little park with bamboo shoots and plants and the birds singing in the trees and all the rest of it. And they kind of cuddle up a bit and say, I'll give you a bear hug, and then say, I'd rather have a kip or a little nap. Well, that can last a few years, to be honest, but there you go. And I thought the panda would say, hello there, hey. What would you like to have today? I'm sorry this isn't going very well, but maybe you could be my little bear. Actually reminded me of problems I had with my mother. I said I'd like a pet. I mean, I like a pet, not a heavy pet, but a little pet. And she said, well, you're a dirty little dog, and I'm certainly not giving you a pussycat to make messes around the house. I got a goldfish, and that died after a while. Maybe I shouldn't have given it too much, all the food at once. But I thought, you know, give them an opportunity to have a little bit of fun in life. It's like being a hamster on a wheel, isn't it? You know. But they're playing saying, how are you? Would you like to touch me? I think, you know, maybe that relationship with a lady is the wrong thing to sort of say. I mean, you know, she couldn't cope with a touching bear or a sort of cuddly furry little character sort of wanting a little hug. I thought, this isn't going well. And it was strange because, I mean, you read about a Hollywood film, wasn't it? Mel Gibson, there he was making racist, xenophobic, all kinds of edgy, I don't know, anti-Jewish, anti-Arab, all kinds of things he was saying, and he was in a bad way in Hollywood culture. And then he got to make this film, I'm still to see it actually, with Jodie Foster. It was called The Beaver. I mean, I don't know Jodie Foster, yeah. Because what he did, he was a traumatised guy, and he got a little beaver to do the talking for him, you know, a little puppet. And I thought Panda Bear would reach out and say something like, would you like to come home with me? And no, well, the date didn't work out, but the good news was I've got to keep the bear in my pocket, and I can always say I've got a bear behind me. Good night.